Hey guys, Liquid here, and welcome back to Let's Answer Some Questions. As always, post questions below, and I shall answer them next week. Let's get started. First off, DerpyNoob06 asks, will you revisit older games such as Ultimate Spider-Man or Batman Arkham Asylum? This question has been brought up a few times, and especially I think Ultimate Spider-Man has been addressed a number of times. Will I? Perhaps in the future eventually. Like I think it could be an interesting idea. But right at the for the foreseeable future, um, I've got other things that I would like to do and get to instead of just doing the same stuff over and over again. Um, and I feel like the Batman's stuff is like so recent. Like I don't know. I think Ultimate Spider-Man I think I did in like 2010, and Batman Arkham Asylum I think was like 2011. So they weren't really that far apart, but for some reason I like have them like in different sections of my brain where like Batman Arkham Asylum feels much more recent. Um, but, like it's a possibility like at some point, when I've exhausted everything that I would like to do. But right now, I wouldn't really hold your breath for it because it could be a really long time. Red Hood 440 asks, what TV shows did you watch when you were a child? Um, I mainly watched as a youngster, I watched a lot of like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like I could just go off and just like listing random stuff I watched. SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, that type of stuff. I used to I remember like I would watch Toonami, and I watched Dragon Ball Z and whatnot every day come home when I came home from school. And I remember at one point there was something where I actually like for some reason like I lost the ability to watch Cartoon Network, and I only had Nickelodeon. And so for a while I kind of just went out like I'd say maybe around 2004 or so, 2005. Like from there on it was only Nickelodeon basically. And also I watched a lot of I used to watch a lot of PBS Kids. There was a show called Zoom about these kids would get together and like do science experiments and stuff like that. Or Cyber Chase was about like this educational show about like it like had a plot, but like every sort of episode was like about the main characters trying to figure out some sort of problem using math. Uh, it was pretty fun. I used to watch G4 Tech TV when that used to be on. I used to watch basically it was like a television channel dedicated to video games and whatnot, and I would watch the review shows like X Play and what was yeah, Electric Play was it Judgment Day? They had this one called Judgment Day, which I actually believe is still going on as like a web show or something in Canada called I think in Canada it's called Reviews on the Run. I used to watch that. And just I think that's a good kind of summary of the stuff I used to watch. Kobe Bryant apparently remembers watching me when he was 9 years old, which I'm curious about how old you are now because I've had that a lot where like people come to me saying like yeah I used to watch you when I was a little child, and it always is a bit of a strange feeling. Nostalgia Junkies asks, even though YouTube hasn't treated you well, are you happy in life? I would like you to elaborate on this YouTube hasn't treated you well bit. But am I happy in life? I'd say for the most part, I suppose, as happy as I can be for everything, I guess. SS Sneaky Viper asks, "What are your PC specs if you have a gaming PC?" I believe. All right. Okay. Without looking them up, uh, the current PC that I have, I actually built. I didn't build it myself, but I ordered all the parts separately, and then like had them. I took them to like a computer shop and had them I had them put it together, and that was in, I think, very late 2013, maybe no, like November, December 2013. So I've had it for quite a while. Um, and when I got it, I want to say it was pretty good. Like I was able to run most things, and I still haven't really found anything that I think like lot of modern games, like I don't know, like Call of Duty World War II or something, I might not be able to run, but I just haven't really ever tried to play too many super modern games. But like I've played Kerbal Space Program and uh, uh, Far Cry 3, and just random stuff like that. Armor 3 ran really well. But okay, as for specs, it's a full tower, which I think if I were to get a new PC, I think I might get a smaller tower than that because it is like a very very big thing. Like it's just such a huge beast. Like I maybe go medium tower or smaller than that or something. I don't know. 8 gigabytes of RAM. The actual brand I can't really remember, but not really sure it matters too much. The video card I believe is a NVIDIA GTX 760. The CPU is a what was it? It's an i7. It's an i7 something. It's definitely i7 Intel. What I'll do is I'll probably like just post like the full specs in like a comment of this video, but the boot drive or whatever is a I think 120 gigabyte SSD, and it's also got another internal like terabyte hard drive I think inside of it. But I've also got like just a bunch of external hard drives. The power supply I can't really like. It's maybe around 500 watts or so power supply. I can't really remember too much. What else is there? I think the motherboard is also like a. I'm not really sure what the motherboard is, but it's something that fits with what all the other stuff I got, and also the DVD drive, right, and I don't have any, do not have a Blu-ray drive, and I remember I've got like this little Wi-Fi chip or like this Wi-Fi card in it, but that didn't actually really seem to do anything. So for connecting to the internet, I just use like a USB Wi-Fi adapter. But I think that's most of the specs. I do sometimes think about upgrading, um, mainly just because like I just worry about you know. Because I have had it for a few years. I worry about it, something happening, or just things going a bit slow or something. Um, I would say that when I play games, like depending on the game, it definitely gets pretty loud, which I don't really remember it doing too much when I first got it. Um, but for the most part, it's done well. Like the main downside, I'd say, just like it is like such a massive thing. Red Robin asks, "What type of superhero comics do you read?" I do not really read. I do not read comics like on a regular basis, and the only real time that I have read comic books was maybe 2000. 'Cause I got like a I think from like a relative. I got like a big like stack of Spider-Man comic books. That was like the first 100 or so volumes. I read quite a bit of that, and there was a point where I was sort of getting into comic books where I think first when it was Amazing Spider-Man 600, which was like in 2009 or so. I remember like getting that and then like kind of following it for a few issues, but I kind of fell off of it. I remember reading also around that time, Captain America Reborn was a like, cause I just remember like hearing a lot of talk about it, and I was curious about it. Um, but other than that, like back other that sort of run in with comic books, like around 2009 or so. Um, I just really haven't read that many. Um, which that might surprise a lot of people because like I do have a lot of like Spider-Man Let's Plays and whatnot, and like but when I tell people that I don't really read comic books at all, they're a bit confused or something. But yeah, I just never really got into them too much. At least on like superhero comic books, I do read like manga. I guess you could technically call it a comic book, and I do read manga every now and then. Sticky Viper asks, if you could change an event in history, what would you change? The first thing that came to my mind it was the Holocaust. I'd probably take that away. Trying to think of other things. Yeah, it's probably just say the Holocaust. I missed your. Sunix asks, I miss your old videos when you used to play Batman Arkham Asylum and City. It's not really a question, so I'm not really sure how to respond to it. But if you would give me some constructive feedback on what you liked about those videos, that when you say I like your old videos, it makes me think that if there's something about my new videos that you don't like. Joseph Parker, final question asks, are you going to Let's Play Spider-Man PS4? At some point, probably. I will probably eventually get to it, but it's not on any sort of I don't have any sort of sense of urgency to do it or get it or anything. Like I've not really been paying attention to it, and I don't really know too much about it or when it's coming out and whatnot. But imagine at some point, as time goes on, I'll check it out. But it's not something that like I'm not dying to play it or anything. So don't be expecting a Let's Play of it to be going up on like release day. But I imagine I'll get to it at some point. But that's all the questions for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, Liquid out.